Welcome to West Virginia and Commonplace. Today, I have a very special guest with me. Her name is Amber, and she has a business. She has a model that she is going to present to you guys right now. Amber, please tell them a little bit about yourself and tell them about where you're from and why we're here today.
Okay, my name's Amber. I'm from Spokane, Washington, so the east side of Washington State. And I'm here to talk about this business venture that I started with my father called Biddle Drive In.
Okay, and can you enlighten us? What made you and your father start Biddle Drive In?
So my dad has been a screenwriter and a small time filmmaker for the better part of 2 decades. And he's encountered, I'm sure you could imagine, a lot of no's in his career. A lot of barriers trying to break into the business, trying to get his creations seen by people. And so, with how Netflix and Hulu and all of these other streaming services have really taken off and kind of taken over how people consume different TV shows and movies, we saw that there was really a place for small time, indie filmmakers and TV shows um, to they need a place to share their stuff as well. Um, and so that's kind of where Biddle Drive In was born, just as an opportunity for not only for my father to share his films that he's created, but for other small indie creators to be able to stream their films to new viewers other than their families and friends, and to make a little money off of that as well.
Okay, and I'll get you to explain this because some people have this misconception about streaming. When you actually stream something, it's coming from a server that you host, and
Yes.
and that item is going out to the public to be seen. And a lot of people think that it's just as easy as making a movie, throwing it, getting in contact with two people, getting it on a video on demand, and it's out there. And that is not the case, correct?
Oh no, that is not the case. The only place that even humored my dad with some of his projects about a streaming possibility was Amazon Prime. And they paid him 1 cent per 100 views. So he would put all of this time and effort into creating something, completely original, completely creative, to be told that his work isn't even worth a 100th of a cent to be seen.
Oh wow. And that could be discouraging to some people that don't have thick skin or don't have, the fortitude for that, correct?
Oh yeah, definitely. My dad is very like he doesn't let it get to him. He definitely has an entrepreneurial spirit and just moves on and tries to find the next best thing. But when you've been around the block as much as he has, you start to see that all of the opportunities that you've sorry, my freaking pets. All of the opportunities that you've looked into have kind of pushed you to the side or dismissed you. And so my dad was like, well, we'll just make our own.
Okay.
And then no one gets to tell us no.
Right. And that's a good venture there. So it's basically his love letter and his FE letter at the same time to the movie and film industry. That leads into my next question. What type of impact are you all looking to have on, and we'll do this in two facets, on the streaming industry and the filming industry? And the reason that I'm asking you this, and let me tell you what captivated me uh, to your story. Both me and you both know I just read about this today.
Yes.
And I tied, and this is a crazy way to tie everything in. I tied what you guys having going on with the backlash that Disney had, and I'm sorry to name drop, over Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
The conventional sense of the theater and the conventional sense of streaming. Streaming has taken over our lives now. It's something we're doing. It's something we
Yep.
encourage. So, um, going back to you all with with all that going on, when I seen what was going on with you guys, it was just like, wow, this is a breath of fresh air. Someone is actually out here taking time to help independent creators, indie creators, to actually have a place to put their material, to monetize off their material. Because just like in this podcast industry, a lot of people get out here and they do podcasts, and not a lot of they. It's really 1% make money off of this at all.
Yeah.
So for you guys to actually do that, that's one thing I want to commend you on. So my question is, and we'll get back to it. Sorry, I went off on a long wind of nothingness.
That's
Um,
okay.
um, what is going to be your impact on the film industry and the streaming industry? Because I always thought they were together, but the more research I did in the last 45 minutes, they're two separate entities now.
Oh, they definitely are two separate entities. And I do think that, there's definitely more flexibility in the streaming industry than there is within like the traditional film, movie, and TV industry. I think we've seen a lot more. There has been a lot. It's been a lot easier for smaller creators to get into streaming, to have some sort of web series, or um, just reach a bigger audience, either through YouTube or social media or something like that. I think our desired impact is to just kind of have a space for these creators that, are new to filmmaking or new to just the entertainment industry in general, just kind of to help them like dip their toe in the water, kind of see what they want out of it. Some people just create to create, and that's fantastic. We obviously need people like that. But a lot of people, they put their blood, sweat, and tears into something, and they want to see, a reward for that. And they should. A lot of them deserve to be recognized for all of that time and energy and late nights that they put into these passion projects that they have. And so if we can give them the opportunity to share those things that are so important to them in their lives, with people that they don't know, I think that would be something that my dad and I would both be really proud of.
Okay, okay. Now, the thing that I like about what you got going on now, understand, I am what they call, they call me the journalistic integrity guy. I will go and research you, and even though I did it in a limited amount of time, I looked at you on three different areas, and this is mobile, web, at your website, on a computer, on a tablet, because those are the three things that people are going to be on. Looking over your website, and we'll go into the other questions in just a moment. Going over, looking, just jumped on my phone. You get a really nice presentation over there. It tells you about the Biddle Drive In on the mobile end. On the website end, it gives you more detail, obviously, and more stuff. Um, you have a certain amount of films that are already available, which we'll talk about in a moment if you like. Um, but there was one thing that captured me on the desktop website. It was your mission statement about helping the lesser known creator. And we've already gone over a little bit about why you want to help them and stuff like that. But one thing that I do want to ask you about helping them, most people would help. And you guys are doing one thing. Once again, I'll commend you on it. And like most people would try to find a way to monetize off of these people and not give them anything back. Just be like, hey, sort of like some of the podcast hosting sites that'll let you do everything for free, no marketing, but they're going to make some money off of you somewhere.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you for that. So to the lesser known creator, since we're still talking about them, what would be something that you would tell them as a fledgling content creator to think about when they submit something to you guys? Because I know you guys are going to put out things, certain things you're going to have to critique, and you're going to have to give back these people some type of feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you tell a fledgling creator, a content creator, when they come to you to bring a product or movie, web series, or any type of short project? What would you tell them?
I would tell them to just submit it to us. We're just to my, I'm just a normal person. My dad is a normal person, and I think we both have the compassion to see that to be able to tell if someone's really serious about something. If someone comes to us and they're like, oh, here's this YouTube video that I made in 2008, and it's something dumb and it's gotten like 12 views on YouTube, and like they're just like, oh, maybe I could make, it's like, are you trying to further your filmmaking desires or dreams or career possibly, or because we have limited space, like
Yes.
everything boils down to gigabytes. And so that's really what it's going to really come into quality. And not that everything needs to be Hollywood quality. It's not going to be with these people that are making films at home. But like the quality of thought and time and effort that was put into a project. Like we have one on here, it's called Dogs of Town Hall.
Yes.
And it's about this little girl and her stuffed animal dogs. And, it's just a family that makes these, and they're really cute, and they're little educational videos for like children. Um, Obviously, like you can't compare it to something on like Nickelodeon or like Disney Junior, but you can tell that it's like it's meaningful to them. It's meaningful to the family that's putting their time into it. It's something that they do together as like a bonding thing, and they are proud enough of it to want to share it with other people, especially other children. And so like when I say quality, I'm really more referring to just like the quality of the time and effort that people are putting into these projects. Anyone can video anything now with their smartphones. So
Yes.
like we definitely will be selective of what we add to our site. But it will not hurt to submit something. Everything will be reviewed by myself and my dad personally. So like, and my dad has a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge and experience in the industry. So he may be also, willing and able to help someone, young and new to this industry to improve their content if that is something that they're interested in.
Okay, so spinning off that, your dad, this is a subsidiary of your dad's company. So
Yes.
so basically, what I take from this is as a fledgling content creator, yes, you're going to get critiqued, but it could also end up in a consultant end of things because just like when we do these shows and stuff like that, people critique me and tell me what I
Oh
did
yeah.
wrong, what I should do, what I shouldn't do. So yeah, most definitely there. Now, going a little bit deeper, um, how can the audience contribute to you all? Like, once people start viewing this, because this is something that it just literally launched, correct?
Yeah. June 1st was like our official launch date, but
Hmm.
we've really like we're gearing up now. We're trying to get out there, do some social media marketing, try and utilize, Google Analytics and SEO and things like that. And then in our local area, we're also posting flyers in like, places that we think will attract the type of people that would be interested in a site like ours or in streaming projects that are on our site. Um, so yeah, I would say it's still brand new. It's definitely in its infancy. Luckily, my father has made a lot of great contacts through his time. So we already had several creators that were like excited to get their projects up on the site and have the opportunity to have those streamed by viewers. Um, but that is a really good question about viewer feedback, because we definitely do want the viewer feedback, especially with like technical things like how the website functions and like user experience of the website itself. And then as for the content, like the actual content and reviews of that, like that's super valuable as well, not only to us, but to the creators whose projects are up on that site. So I mean, right now, I don't think we even have a chat feature. That's definitely something that we will be implementing on the website, is just like a chat feature, which basically will um, send a message directly to my dad and I from whoever's on the website. And that could be a way for them to submit feedback, or um, I'll have to think about that. I
Right.
haven't really
Right. And one
gotten to
thing,
that point yet with the website.
and one thing I will say there, you also have a mailing list. A mailing list is
Yes.
something that is so important, and it doesn't matter what you're promoting or what you're doing. That mailing list is so important because it makes you a little bit more personable to the viewer and stuff like that. So also on the website, you can definitely pick that up there on both of them. I like that you have the to be announced now, accepting new films, uh, and another movie that's coming out. So let's do this. Let's just dive right into it. Okay.
Okay,
Tell
let's
me
do it.
about these movies that are up right now.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start with um Enlightenment 30 seconds at a time.
Okay.
So this is one that my father created. He wrote the script um, and directed and produced the film. And so he stars in it as well as my mom and some of their associates from the area. This is about a this is about an author who she's a little bit crazy, and it's basically like a mockumentary of this author's life. It's very funny, it's a little odd, but it's definitely one of my father's favorite films that he's created. So that's the one I would start with. Spidey, as I'm sure you can guess by the poster, is about a spider.
Yes, I see
This
that.
one my dad also created. Um, and I believe it stars my brother in it as well. And it's about him and his spider, and they're just best friends. Um, I haven't seen all of these, so I already talked about the Dogs of Town Hall. That one's
Yes.
really cute if you have kids. They have a little ABC song that I would really recommend. It's very cute. Firefighter. this
Yes.
film this film has actually won several awards at different film festivals, and it's about a firefighter, a fireman, who something happens to him and then he somehow becomes half dragon and half man. um and he basically terrorizes his town. But that one's very well done. Um, and then the cosmological constant. This one was created by my father's good friend Ron Ford. Um, and it is about a scientist who is working with a priest and one of his old students. And they're basically like exploring life, and it's kind of comparing science versus religion. So that's a really interesting film as well.
Okay.
And then I can just kind of go over the synopses of these other ones that I haven't had a chance to watch yet.
Okay.
So The Call, this was created by another one of my father's good friends in the industry here in Spokane. Kayla Jones is a desperate young lady searching for love in all the wrong places. Her desire for love will get her into something she can't get herself out of. Kayla must now face the consequences of putting her number online. So that kind of, I feel like that kind of goes back to my podcast, Liberated Ladies, something, in the dating realm, and then you date online, and then you kind of figure out what happens from there.
Right.
The Red Whispers, the synopsis here is a woman enters a room where she is greeted by an unknown force. I believe that is a thriller. And then the final one here is Emma's Visitor. A mysterious woman visits Emma and asks her questions. The woman is a representative of the Almighty. So that one sounds, I mean, all of these are very like, they're very interesting and they're very well done, with the technology and resources that these filmmakers have. And so, yeah, they're all, my dad has watched them all and he said that they're all great. Excuse me. So that's where we're at right now, but we do have plenty of room still for additional films or web series, short films, anything like that. So we
Okay.
are definitely still in the market of uh, kind of combing through those and getting them uploaded.
All right. So here's the big thing that we're over on the website. What are the terms of viewing media on Biddle Drive In?
So Biddle Drive In
Biddle
is
Drive In. I'm
it's
sorry, Biddle.
basically just
Got-
a that's okay.
yeah.
It's just it's kind of like Amazon Prime in the sense that you rent the movie that
Okay.
you're streaming. So from the Now Playing page, if you click the one of the Watch Now buttons from for any of the films, it'll take you to a video player, which you can then watch the trailer for the film or purchase the film to rent. So this won't let you download or anything. Of course, we ask that people don't like screen record these films as they are intellectual property of the creators. Um, but you get a 48-hour rental, so it gives you 2 days to watch it as many times as you want, just like Amazon Prime rental. And then once that time is up, you can rent something else or maybe rent the same one if you want to watch it again. But it's fairly user friendly and easy, straightforward to use.
Okay. So let me go into the. We're going to do a little segment called "Let's Go into the Future." All right, going into the future with this, are you guys after this gets a after it does its full launch, you did a soft launch, then the hard launch, everything's going on now, the media and getting everything built up. Are you guys in the market to turn this into an app?
Yes, we've definitely been in talks about turning this into an app. Um, my dad is, for a middle-aged guy, he's pretty good with technology, but I'm the primary technology person for Biddle Drive-In and Biddle Productions in general.
Yes.
So we have been looking into an app. That would be fantastic if we could have this in app form. But for now, our website is fully mobile compatible. So
And yes, that's one thing I wanted to say. It is very mobile friendly. I did have a chance, and this is not a plug for Nebula or anything, but um, obviously everyone knows what I do with the projectors. I was able to get it on the browser inside of my projector, which is amazing that it has one. But it does seem like that it would be something that would be very great for the cinematic experience that I like to have. So I do
yeah.
want to commend you on that one once again. So here's a major question because we get a little personal on this podcast. What is your cinematic experience?
Uh my growing up, watching films and movies was always a big thing in my family. As I'm sure you can imagine, my dad is definitely the type of person that's like he has his list of films that if you haven't seen these films, like you haven't experienced life. And so that was definitely like a theme of my childhood growing up. We would watch films together. That's still definitely a big part of my relationship with my parents is if they watch something and they love it, then they're going to recommend it to me to watch it as well. So my cinematic experience is definitely very family oriented. I've always been a big movie and TV fan. So I still am. I spend a lot of my time, consuming different movies and different TV shows and things like that. So to have this opportunity to kind of share that with other people and um, give them access to these films and projects that they wouldn't otherwise know about is it's very special, and doing it with my dad as well is very special. It's definitely a passion project. Ideally, of course, we would like to make money doing this, but um it's really not about the money. It's really more about just my dad's true passion is film. Like that is his life path. That is his soul. Like that's what he was put on this earth to do. And so being able to be like along with him on for the ride it's very special and I'm very lucky.
Okay. Now, another segment we do is called the Shameless Plug. Inside the Shameless Plug, we like to go in and get all the information that you can provide us about social media, different places to find you and this. Because the amazing thing about a podcast, and you know this too, your personality, you have your own show, and you have this business over here too. So you have
Mhm.
two separate faces that you have to run now, as of today, as of June 1st, as of when you decided to get into this venture. So if you
Yes.
wouldn't mind, Amber, please tell everyone where they can find you, follow you, and get involved with this business. On all ends, for the simple fact that it's this one thing, you all are a production company outside of this also. This is one of the
Yes.
many ventures inside of you. So there's so many ways that people can attach themselves to you. So go ahead.
Okay. Shameless plug. Well, the drive-in, you can find us at biddledrivein.com. That's B as in boy, I, D as in dog, D as in dog, LE, drive in.com. Um, so our Instagram is at Biddle Drive In, all lowercase, no space or anything like that. And then Facebook is also at Biddle Drive In. That's kind of where we're at on the social media front at the moment. Um, and then you can also find our production company, biddleproductions.com. Again, that's Biddle. And we also have social media, Facebook and Instagram for that one as well. And so if you already have a project that's ready to go, please submit it to us for the drive-in site. If you are in need of film production assistance or services, we can help you with that as well. So that is where you can find us for now.
Okay, okay. Now we've talked about Biddle Drive-In. And once again, you guys are aiming for indie films, web series, and short projects. Is there anything on the horizon outside of this that's going to go inside of Biddle Drive-In? And an example I'll give you just real quick so you can think about it real quick because I seen you had a thought,
Okay.
but you want to. I'll let you recycle the question a little bit in your head. Like, are you? For instance, we already talked about maybe an app coming about, but maybe at some point you might decide to do some type of live screening or something to the extent of like how they do on the web where someone talks about the movie and the movie's playing, all those various ventures that people are doing with films now. The greatest thing that I see now, and like I said, once again, these are things that really excite me about what you guys are doing. The streaming side of the film business gives you so much more interaction you can do. There's more interaction than just going to the movies and seeing a movie and having that popcorn cinematic experience at a theater that may be overpriced. You're
Mhm.
giving them the opportunity to have indie films because, like everyone said, over a time and period, we get used to the models of the big box companies. We get used to the Criterion films, which I will say Criterion films are in their own right. They're amazing because they critique cinematography. But having indie stuff, like it gives you like a more how do I want to validate this? How do I want to validate this? Let me think about this one. It gives you a more refreshing sense of like it could be my next door neighbor that went out and filmed this. They're gonna have equipment or whatever, or they could have took an iPhone and put. And it's hard to plug an iPhone, but any phone. They could have took a phone and bought all of those filters for $700 to make their phone into something that can record.
Mhm.
Um, you know, it gives you that type of feel. It's like, man, I could almost do this, but I can't. If that makes sense.
Well,
Because
I think everyone has, the capability of creating film or doing something creative. But I think what sets certain things apart from others is the passion behind it and the true love that they have for what they're doing. And you can tell that in Hollywood films as well. If the actor is not into their role, they're not going to do as good of a job as someone who's absolutely stoked to be playing that character and has really, done their research and um, made the effort to become that character. And that's the same for small time projects as well. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that yes, we're our the films that are on our site are probably never going to make it to the big screen, and that's fine. Um, because instead of, a theater full of people who may be, falling asleep or um, you know, pissed off because they did have to spend $12 for a bucket of popcorn, or they're on a date with someone they really don't like. Instead, these are going to be people that are streaming it, in the comfort of their own home, in their favorite sweatpants, with you know a home cooked meal by their spouse. Like, it's just, I think it's just more of a personal experience in general, and I think that's true for streaming in general, in opposed to going to a movie theater. There's just something about, being able to pull something up on your phone and just watch it, like, on your lunch break while you're sitting in your car.
Truly, truly. So once again, Amber, I want to thank you for coming on West Virginia Uncommonplace, taking time out of your schedule to talk about this, to let us know about this venture, because this is exciting to me, because this venture can venture out into what I do,
Yeah.
and it will. The last part that I like to do is I like to do a huge shout out. There's people that contribute to what you do and how you do things. Obviously, a major contribution to what you do is it's a you and your dad, and there's other people. So, at this moment, would you send a big shout out to everyone that's helped or who's helping right now and who helped in the past? Just whoever.
Yeah, definitely. Well, first and foremost, my dad, Ray Biddle. He is the driving force behind all of this. And then, of course, my mom, Jackie Biddle. Um, and then I'm also going to shout out my sister, Kirsten, and my brother, Zach, because they've definitely been involved throughout the years as well. Um, and then I'd also like to shout out all of the creators that we have on the site. I don't have everybody's name in a list, and I'm very sorry for that. But for sure, Ron Ford and Alicia. I don't know her last name, but she is the star in Enlightenment 30 Seconds at a Time.
Okay.
She's been a huge part of this as well. And then really just, you know, all of my all of our family and friends who have been supportive, shared things on social media, purchased these rentals on the site, just to everyone. It's been um, we definitely have a very supportive community around us, so we're very lucky in that regard.
Okay, and now let me give you a testimonial about yourself and your business model in your business. I want to tell you thank you. Thank you for allowing the independent, the people that don't always get a chance, because anybody can throw something up on YouTube and get a million views, but they're not going to monetize on that
Yeah.
unless you have other side hustles to make that even bigger. Um, Thank you for allowing creativity to keep going on, because a lot of people get stuck in these certain fences, and then I did say the word fences, like boxed in, because once you start doing your filming and stuff like that, if it goes to someone else, they're gonna critique it. They're
Yeah.
gonna get in there and they're gonna tell you it needs to be a certain way. You guys are taking the films, viewing them, giving them merit, and then putting them on your website. That's something that is very encouraging to people, that should make people want to jump out and come to you guys, most definitely, and I hope they do. um, Next, having the passion for cinematography, having the passion for movies, that is another big thing, because everybody can go out here and review a movie all day. There's a movie that just came out that's a sequel to a big movie, and everybody has a review for it, but no one has the answers to why that film is so bad right now. And I won't name that film because it'll be something that I might do a podcast on later. But anyway, but anyway, um, going forward, having the fortitude to do this for passion, not to look at the money that you can make off this, not to look at the fact that it's a way to raise your status in certain areas, or to even make you a big enough venture that one of these other companies decides to buy you out one day, which I hope it happens for you. I know you may not want that, but I hope that
Yeah.
you all get big enough that you become a part of IFC or somebody else that uh, could actually use your talent over there. You know, that would be awesome there. And it's just mainly for being a visual voice for the unheard. You don't get
Well,
that
thank you.
you don't get that anywhere. And I tell you, I deal with a lot of people that I talk to. I just got done talking to a guy that he had an idea. He has a good book series that he wrote. I met him at a Comic Con. Well, he got signed to Netflix, and you know what happened to him? They didn't like his idea. They liked his thought process. So they took his thought process and they're making him write something for Netflix now. All that hard
Oh
work
my
he put
gosh.
in just pushed away. So with what
Yeah.
y'all are doing right now, that like I told you, that's why I get excited for things like this, because it's the entrepreneurship that you and your father have. It's the independent thought that, hey, we can make a difference, even if it's just in Spokane, Washington. Now it's all the way to West Virginia, so that's across the country.
Yeah.
You know, and then at least from there, the mass markets that follow me, Columbus, Ohio, blah, blah, blah. We ain't got to go into all the detail. But the thing is that you took the initiative even today to be like, because I approached you and you could have just told me no today. You could have been like, hey, I may have time to do something later on. But you actually made the time for me to do this, even though I wrote those questions like that to come on and do this. So I greatly appreciate this. So I want you to take this testimonial and just keep it with you. Know that you are one of the best people in this sense. You love creativity, and creativity sparks you to be creative.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you. That's very sweet and I very much appreciate it.
You're welcome. So, once again, over here at West Virginia Uncommon Place, Amber from Biddle Drive In um, has left us with a gem. The gem she has left us with is that you can go over to her website, which she'll drop real quick,
Biddledrivein.com.
and you can go see the featured films that are there today, or you can venture through here, see what you like, and if you're a filmmaker, you can go over to.
You can either submit on the For Creators page on Biddle Drive-In, or you can go to biddleproductions.com.
And all of this information will be referenced in the show notes so that you guys will be able to find out everything about Biddle Drive In and about Amber. And also, a shameless plug, she also has a podcast that you guys should definitely go check out. And I'll let her just tell you just a moment about that.
That's called Liberated Ladies. And you can find us on Instagram at Liberated Ladies.
All right. So, once again, guys, I am signing off. Bye.